Why let chameleons or cuttlefish have all the color-changing fun? Here's how BMW has been taking that sentiment to heart with their newest car design. BMW wrapped an electric SUV in ePaper last year. Now, for CES 2023, it's looking to bring real color-changing cars to life.
It's alive! Oh, it's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
At first glance, the BMW iX Flow seemed to be a normal example of the German automaker's EV. However, a skin of EInk wrapping the bodywork and wheels could instantly flip it from white through to dark gray. It built on the same technology we've seen Amazon and others use in e-readers, only on a far larger scale. While a Kindle might have a screen 6 to 8 inches diagonally, the iX Flow relied on full-width rolls of ePaper almost 2 feet across. Panels cut from that, tailored to fit the different contours of the SUV, and then wired up to a central controller, allowed for a vehicle that could be dark gray one moment and white the next. The response proved to be dramatic, not to mention a huge vote of confidence for BMW's Stella Clark, for whom this ePaper wrap began as a passion project. Clark's endeavors went from a one-woman show to leading a full team now working on EInk and color changing, and with the promise of commercialization in the pipeline. We caught up with her at BMW's labs in Munich, Germany, ahead of CES 2023 and the debut of the BMW iVision D, which is completely wrapped in color-supporting ePaper. The iX Flow still looks remarkable, like something from a science fiction movie brought to life. Clark and her team built 3 cars in the end, the first being a wild rush to get it completed in time for its CES 2022 debut last January. Since then, though, they've not been idle. The current fleet of prototypes have been improved along the way. For example, new controllers and software have led to much sharper, faster changes and smoother animations. The skin of the iX Flow ripples with grayscale patterns like some sort of outsized cuttlefish. At the same time, BMW has been looking at how the cuts can be cleaner and more professional. Even with the body of the SUV broken down into subsections, the resulting strips aren't quite 2D planes. Instead, it's a clever system of slits, laser-sliced courtesy of a huge cutting machine installed in Clark's lab, which allows the ePaper panels to bend without being interrupted. You only see the resulting diamond patterns when you get up near, but the technology is certainly worth a closer look. Another challenge that Clark and the team has been tackling is resilience. As anybody who has dropped a Kindle knows, ePaper is tough, but it's not unbreakable. Road chips can generally be shrugged off, but larger impacts will leave sections unable to color flip. BMW is looking at bonding the EInk behind glass to improve that resilience. However, Clark points out that the segmented nature of the wrap means individual sections can be replaced rather than the whole thing needing to be redone. The goal is to make the whole flow system sprayable. That way, you could simply spray on the ePaper layer, allowing it to coat the contours of the vehicle more naturally. Clark insists that this is closer to being a reality than you might think.
It's never been done. It's unexpected. It's magical.
It's possible, but not quite ready for prime time. Instead, BMW is looking at different ways to commercialize the technology and to take advantage of what EInk has been developing too. Color e-readers have been around for a while now, but as we've seen with the iX Flow, Clark's team scales that up dramatically. Basically, different currents applied to the ePaper generate different hues. They're not as vivid or saturated as, say, an LCD or OLED panel would be, but they still have all the advantages of monochrome EInk. So power is only required to change the color, not maintain it. Color-changing BMW cars are one possibility. While you might expect that to be hugely expensive, Clark suggests that it could actually be more in line with a regular wrap. However, the team has also been working on ePaper wheels. Think spinners, only instead of a physically moving disc, each of the spokes gets a panel of color ePaper. The result is eye-catching in the best way possible. BMW's prototypes are big, dished wheels, all the better to show off the color panels. However, there's no reason that the ePaper couldn't be applied to narrower spokes. Since EInk's technology is such a power miser, you could even collect enough juice to handle the hue changes by harnessing the rotational forces of the wheels themselves. Again, the goal here is not just a flashy tech showcase for the Consumer Electronics Show, but something which BMW could commercialize analyze if the response is there. Clark says that after the positive reaction to the iX Flow, there's also been interest from within other departments at the automaker about how ePaper could be used for interior controls and panels. That sort of judicious application is already playing out elsewhere at the automaker, even if only on other concept vehicles. The BMW iVision D, also unveiled at CES 2023 this week, uses color ePaper too. The body surface of the electric sports sedan is divided into 240 different EInk segments, each of which can be controlled individually and switched between 32 different colors. Subsections in its fascia, around the rear lamps, and in panels around the side windows support a resolution that can not only show animations and patterns, but can also be used to display things like parking permits, with BMW envisaging the driver's credentials automatically appearing depending on where the EV is.